Thank you for tuning back in, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to a
we love you.
February episode. Today's February 10th, and we're gonna have to put this one out before Valentine's Day.
Yes,
Valentine's Day is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Are we gonna talk to you guys about love and commitments and all that crap?
Yes, we are.
Actually,
you know what? Sit down. We're gonna say a prayer.
Yeah, we'll save that for the last 30 seconds, and everything else is just we'll talk about other stuff. But
damn, I got a fart.
Yeah, today is actually the 11th. My bad. Tommy
Did you
just
catch
farted
that
live on air.
Oh shit!
We'll put some reverb on that. I'm surprised you did that live. Anyway, moving on, dude. Let's get right into this thing. Let's get through all of our beautiful material that we have for you. We actually just did a Facebook Live video, and we talked about who's better looking, who's the better host, the dirty, disgusting.
The good thing
TV
is,
dinners.
all two people were involved in that video.
And it was actually kind of fun. We were on there for 2 or 3 minutes, so we got a few things that people wanted us to talk about, but it was very broad. I think somebody wrote Mexicans. So we love you guys. Welcome back. Can we get the kids' applause? Hey! The kids are always there for us when we need them. But dude, the last week it was so packed. I know that
it's been a gnarly week, bro.
Yeah, it has been dude. And every time I pack a week full of
just I'm like, yo,
events.
Are you ready to record? You're like, I'm leaving for a week.
Dude, I was like, I'm leaving for a week. You're like, yeah, it'd be really good if we got a podcast up this week. I'm like, yeah, I'll be leaving town Tuesday night.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you Saturday morning. But then, obviously, we had the thing yesterday for Michelle coming back, and we'll get to that in a second. The first thing I want to talk about was, I worked on Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday night headed out to Fresno. My girlfriend's sister lives out there. We went out there and spent a few days with them. And this is obviously we've been on so many road trips now, and we've been on. We've traveled a lot together, so this little 2-hour trip was going to be like a cinch, it was going to be nothing big. So we drove out there 2 hours. I actually did the freaking math on it, and I think in the last 5 or 6 days, I've driven about 600 or 700 miles, and for a person,
have driven
600 or 700 miles, too much. I hate driving in traffic. I don't mind driving when it's not traffic. I know we talked about that, so we'll move on. But
what do you like to listen to when you're in traffic?
Dude, so I downloaded the 5 episodes that were up for Macaulay Culkin's podcast. It's called Bunny Ears. It's really weird. I know we talked about it on the last podcast. And we were listening to it on the way up and on the way back. And I think what you're thinking and what I was thinking is what is this burned out actor doing with the podcast? And
what is he talking about?
Well, if you're thinking he's got to be talking about Richie Rich and Home Alone the whole time. No. He does that on the first episode, and he touches on his life and everything like that. But after that, and moving forward, he really just they have these games that they play with you. Basically, it's really interactive. They play games with the audience, and it's really hard to explain. You just have to listen to it if you ever get around to listening to Macaulay Culkin's iPod. Or Macaulay Culkin's iPod is not. I'm tired, guys. It's Macaulay Culkin's podcast. But if you ever get around to listening to his podcast, let's move on.
What do you do for energy, man? You were up in the early morning. You're up to late at night. What do you do for energy, bro?
Well, I it's funny. When I was going to school, it was since about 2015 or 16.
I was in the Straits.
I was always gone, and even at this point, I really only see Tommy when we podcast, and even tonight, we sat down to record, and we were talking a little bit before we recorded for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, just laughing our ass off. Yeah, it was hysterical. And
dude, that's one thing that I love about you, bro, is we might not see each other for 2 or 3 days, and then when we go and sit together here in the lab, and then we talk about 2 or 3 subjects, we just immediately just start dying of laughter.
Sometimes
we just pick off where we left off. There's sometimes we talk about a subject, we're like, no, that's not funny.
Like Macaulay Culkin's freaking podcast.
This
you know
stupid
what? I'll
obsession of Macaulay Culkin.
I did laugh a few times at his podcast, and check it out. If you're feeling like an open book, dude. I'm gone so much, and right now, I really see Tommy only like on times like this where we're getting ready to podcast and throughout the week, whether it's work or at the girlfriend's house or concerts. I try to keep myself busy and out of the house as much as possible because, you just when you sit around, I think, and you don't do anything, that's really when you lose energy.
Yeah.
And it works actually against you. It's like 100%. Counterintuitive, but but usually the downside of that is even though I'm gone a lot, by the time I get home, or after an extremely like strenuous week of driving and like doing concerts and everything like that, like this week, I'll end up getting sick just like right now, and I think I was sick on the last podcast too.
Yeah.
But we'll close.
Back in the day, dude, I was just the only thing that was able to get me up was Monster energy drinks. But I found that this new awesome energy drink called Bang, B-A-N-G. It's like everything.
Bang!
Yeah. Hey, Bang, what you doing? Banging away? It's like such a bomb energy drink, and it doesn't have all the sugar that you get like a gnarly crash.
Yeah.
And it's got all the vitamins that you need. So I've been using that before I go to work, and then sometimes with like a different like nootropic that I'll get going. But that'll usually carry me out through the day. When I don't work out, I feel just shitty, dude.
Yeah, you feel tired.
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
But when I do work out, I feel like I crush my day.
I do know that nothing will match. Yeah, running full out, on a freaking treadmill or.
Yeah, you feel like a champ, bro. Like after you get all those endorphins out, like all those like neurons are like firing in your brain. You just like you feel amazing. Like for me, it's like I would rather work out in the morning and then get to work and like feel good, like all right, I'm ready to rock. Versus like I get to work, I'm like like yawning right. And like I gotta drink like 9 cups of coffee before I talk to somebody. Versus like getting to work, I'm like, whoa, let's go, let's do this.
Yeah, the coffee thing is. And I drink a lot of coffee.
And then there's bulletproof coffee.
There's a lot of different kinds of coffee, but I think coffee is one of those things what we all have in common. And when you asked me, where do you get your energy, I wouldn't even have thought to say that just because it seemed just so typical. Like, yeah, I just drink coffee throughout the day, whether or not it gives you energy. It's one of those things where if you don't drink it at some point in time, when you've been drinking coffee for a while, you start to get a headache. Or you start depending on that coffee, just to function normally. Yeah. And it's like,
some people rely on pills, some people rely on coffee, some people rely on drinks, some people rely on smoking. Like, energy is just so weird. Like, I'm always curious on how people just find their different energy in their life. Speaking of energy, bro, so the other night was my wife's birthday. And I was just like, you know what do you want to do tonight? You want to do something nice? Do you want to go to like a movie? And then we were just like, let's just do something different. So we started looking online and we found Aladdin, like one of our favorite shows on Broadway.
Yeah.
So we're like, dude, let's go see Aladdin. That'd be so much fun. And we were looking at tickets for like 3 nights in a row. And they just kept going up and up and up and up. And finally, the day of her birthday, we actually booked the tickets.
Yeah.
And, dude, so tell me why I literally had the ticket. It was like the very top middle, but in the very, like, middle all the way back. So, like, I literally had the stairs. Like, they were coming all the way up to me. Yeah. And then they came into an aisle. And then I didn't have anybody to my right. It was just me and Ivy to the left. And then we had some space. But I was able to just like lay my legs down like 3 flights of stairs because I'm tall. Mm-hmm. But that was it was a dope show.
It was a remake or it was a play.
It was a play. Okay. It was Aladdin, like basically their musical, like Broadway play.
Okay. And how close to traveling? How close to the original Disney movie was it?
It was pretty close. It was actually pretty close. I mean, there's obvious little parts in the movie where they like cut it out, where it didn't need to be, but they got all the major parts of the movie. Boo! Pretty right. Like Jafar's, typically he had that little Iago's like Iago, like that guy, and like a weird sounding voice, but he was actually like a little child. like a little minion that was like sitting next to him, so he didn't have like a little parrot on him in the actual play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did they have like the parrot and like the
the
monkey?
So he's just like a little midget dude.
Or the monkey guy,
all in red. But there's like a lot of like new humor in like throughout the play. It was like real like funny adult humor, and like I mean obviously it's for kids. It's like 70% of the show was like children,
right?
Like, and then there's like some adults. And there's like some really good dry adult humor that I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
Sounds like a disaster. Like when I went to Disney on Ice.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It was still fun.
If it was like really corny, I would call him on it. But it was actually like really good. We had a good time.
Good.
But that's good. Other than that, man, like it was fun. They weren't like trying to push like merchandise on us or anything. Like buy this Aladdin T-shirt, or anything like that. We had like a little intermission for like 20 minutes. They're like, you want a $37 Sprite? I'm like, no. And it was fine.
So where was that at?
That was at the Pantages Theater.
Oh, yeah, okay. Because I think I'm going to the exact same.
I've never been there before. I'm pretty sure you're going to be there. I think they're doing all their major shows there in LA.
It goes on for like a few months, huh?
It's old school theater. It's beautiful though. When you get in there, like we didn't get there, like we got there just in time, like right before the show started. But when you look at the ceiling, there's just so much just like architecture and just like work and woodwork and lighting that's like going on, like Jesus, like so beautiful. It'd have been nice to be closer to the stage.
How long was the show?
I think it was like 2.5 hours.
Okay, so it was longer than the movie.
They
just kind of draw everything out, huh?
Yeah.
And so, was it like a lot of, like, how do you have a guy floating around on stage? He had legs.
So, it wasn't like the Robin Williams, like,
yep.
Hey, how you doing? Like, he was funny, but he was gay. Like, he was like a black gay genie.
3 wishes.
He was like, hey, y'all got them wishes though. Oh, like, but it was like funny.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly bearing gay, but he's like completely gay.
You said he was a black guy?
And he was a black dude. All
right.
But it was hilarious though, dude. Like, he's just like, you got them 3 wishes. Hey, like there's like a whole party going on him, like behind him and stuff. Like, dude, it's just.
When's the last time you saw the movie?
So I hadn't seen the actual movie for like 10 years.
Okay, nice.
And then before we were gonna watch the actual show, I found that since you and I lived together, I looked through your movies and you had a Blu-ray DVD of Aladdin. So I watched like the first half of it
to find that DVD.
One night, and then the next night I finished the rest of it. Yeah. And then that's how I was able to like
a diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
that was probably like look, there was. I had like 2 favorite Disney movies growing up as a kid. Lion King and Aladdin were probably like the 2 Disney movies I liked growing up as a kid. What else?
Those are probably the 2 first movies that we owned.
Yeah, Toy Story. But you know that the 90s is actually known as like the golden age for Disney movies? Like, because there were so many great films that came out that year, I guess.
Did you know if you were born in 1997, you can legally buy alcohol now?
Yeah, I think basic math. That's
crazy, right?
Right, yeah, and if you're born in 2000...
Like, if I hear somebody that was born in the year 2000, I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
Or, oh, you were born in 1990. Like, oh, Jesus Christ, you sound like a little child.
If you were born in 2000 and you were born... like in January or February, then you could be close to an adult right now.
Yeah. We're 80s babies, him and I. And then even when we hear we're like, oh, we was born in the 90s, like sometimes I'm just like, dang, you
it sounds younger. Young. It sounds young to us, but I mean, that could be.
But then you're like 2000,
you're almost 30 years old. It's still old. But yeah, it was a long time ago. 90s is old.
You're old.
So you had fun. You had fun at the Aladdin show.
Yeah, Aladdin was great, dude. Aladdin was actually a blast.
Do they like give you? You're 2.5 hours in, dude. Like, do they give you a meal or like? What are you doing?
No.
What do you?
You know, we got there. We paid for parking in advance, so when we're not really too familiar with LA, so we cruised in. there's like 30,000 different parking lots with like 10 sweaty Mexican guys named Juan. They're like, come in here, $10.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our Mexicans shout out for the podcast, since that was what everyone wanted us to talk about when we did our Facebook Live video.
Exactly.
Okay, it's been covered.
So there it is.
Thank you guys.
And they're just like, this way, $10. And then we finally found our place. It was like...
That's just like the added part of a ticket.
Dude, here's the funny thing, right? So it was $16, right?
Right.
And we paid underground, and then we like drove to it. And then we were supposed to give our keys to the person that's like valeting, right? But I parked it. And then I was just like, is there anywhere to take like a piss? They're like, oh, I don't know, amigo. I was like, I'm going to go in the corner. Right. They're like, oh, okay, go ahead. So I go to the corner. I take a piss. And then I come back out, and I'm just like, they're like, okay, have a good day. And then when I came back, I was like, hey, I'd like to pick up my car. And then they're just like, oh, it's right there. It was like right in the very front. Uh-huh. So like they didn't have to do anything. So I didn't tip them shit.
That was nice of you, man. You're balling out at the
I walked in my car from valet. It was right. It's right there.
But look, anytime you pay $16 for parking, like it's ridiculous here in Los Angeles. You go to Universal, I have a pass, and it's like you're saving all this money on your pass, but
it's disgusting.
It's $25, guys, every time I go to Universal Studios just to park my car, and that's got to be a major source of income. Like. They know, like, look, this guy's going to come back 3 or 4 times, and that's another $75, $100.
Somebody's always going to want to go to that spot, and somebody's always going to need to park there. So it's a little hidden gem. So if you have, like, a little lot that's, like, close to, like, the Lakers Stadium or, like, where there's something going on, you can open up a freaking parking lot. That doesn't cost you anything. Yeah. Maybe some light bulb voltage. And you can freaking park cars there, dude, and you're just making a fortune. Like,
That's very common too, in downtown LA especially. Like I was telling you,
extremely common.
Like last time I was telling you how I paid that ticket, and there was like around courthouses or venues, there's always going to be like the $10 parking or
$10. Your car might not be there when you get back.
Yeah, we close at 11. But there's always somebody who's anxious to park your car. Sometimes they're small lots too. They might have 10 or 20 spaces, but if you're in there for and you just own that little property, and there's absolutely zero. You're just paying property tax, and every night you're getting.
And what are you paying for? You're not paying for anything except for the actual parking lot itself. There's no like.
It's just
you don't have to keep repainting lines or anything. Yeah. Like, dude, there's no maintenance.
Yeah, it's just an extra source of income, and a major source of income, especially if it's something like a theme park and you have pass holders.
$20 a spot for an hour or wherever.
Exactly. You think you're getting.
You'll probably make $3,000 on that parking lot that night.
Yeah, and imagine like a theme park like Disneyland, where there's like it's one of the biggest parking structures in the world, and there's hundreds of spaces, thousands of spaces.
Yeah, when people want to go to Eynon Brothers podcast shows, it's sold out. People can't get in, dude. I get it, and I get it.
But so that all goes back to like you had like higher energy levels, and look, however you guys have your energy levels, whether you're taking pills or you have a magazine subscription, I don't know how you get your rocks off, but everyone has their own way of getting energy.
Besides that, dude, you just went on like a major road trip, dude. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I was, and I think that you kind of went off on a tangent, but yes, I did go to Fresno.
What's wrong with the tangent?
There's nothing wrong with the tangent. Actually, that's what we're here for. We're podcasting, and I have no problem with, like if you go off in 20 minutes about an energy level or whatever, that's all good.
Yeah.
So this was like a much shorter trip. It's just gonna be going up there for a couple of days and hanging out with 2 of her sisters actually live out there, and we're visiting with them and their nephew. And
cool.
There was really
how far of a drive was that from your house to that spot?
About 240 miles, and that's what I was saying. I was
in hours.
Yeah, that's what. Driving is about 3 or 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Just depending, because there's traffic getting out of LA and everything like that. But once you get out, it's not too bad. We're on like the 99 and everything like that. But
99 problems.
And you were asking me like, what did I do to kill time? And I downloaded about 5 albums, and I was prepping for like one of the concerts that we went to when we got back from the concert, or when we got back from the road trip, and then I downloaded a bunch of podcasts.
The Supertone Strike Back. Like,
it definitely had the Supertone Strike Back. I downloaded 2 albums of
You had Carmen all down.
Dude, I listened to that on Spotify like 2 weeks ago. Carmen. Yeah, the one where he's like doing like all the voices of Satan, and then he said, "I said get back," and I said, "Get back, Satan." Yeah, Carmen was like that was actually my first.
That was like our first concert, dog.
But I don't know because half of Carmen's funny because he's a Christian singer, but half of he almost does like talking singing. You know, where it's like music, but he's kind of talking and he's like playing the voice of a demon, and then he's God, and then he's like, you know, some like, then he's, I don't know, whatever. But he does all these different things.
He's like, my molly's kicking in, hold on.
Yeah, but if you listen to it back, like, you'll start laughing. We used to like do like music videos to that when we were kids. Dun, dun, dun. Like, our dad would record us on his video camera, and we would come out, we would do like air guitar. We would think it was like the coolest music ever.
Another shameless plug for our dad.
But I think technically my first concert was the Eagles. Because I don't know, I have a hard time counting that Carmen concert as a concert, but I don't know. Either one, Carmen or the Eagles.
Calvary Chapel, dog.
Yeah,
free Tootsie Rolls. It was lit.
It was cool out there though, and Fresno. There wasn't much out there, you know. Like we were at walking distance, I think, from like a Starbucks and a gas station, and then but the cost of living.
That's like crackhead area.
Yeah,
that's
you have to drive. You have to drive like 10 miles, I think, to get to like a downtown area where there's like there's the Target out there where everyone goes, and then there's the movie theater where everyone goes. I think it was like Edwards 21, and there was her sister who we were staying with. She lived in Texas for 4 years. And so she knows, you know, good barbecue when she tries it, you know, and she was telling us about this place in downtown, like 10 miles away. She goes, look, this place, their barbecue is on point, you know, with Texas. So I'm like, all right, you know, and obviously, you know, I've been to Texas before. We put out like a Texas podcast and everything.
I've been to Texas before. I've tasted some real good barbecue.
Well, we went down there, and Bella, she got brisket, like the burned up brisket.
She got like a really good salad. It was the Caesar salad.
And then I got the tri-tip biscuit, tri-tip salad? Dip, which is like the sandwich with like it had like 4 layers of tri-tip on there, and then it has like that like broth dip, and then it has the horseradish sauce, dude, and it was the best.
Oh god, dude, shut that shit down. as long as there's somebody offering you horseradish sauce, dude, if you don't until you die.
If you can't handle the horseradish sauce,
no, that's your shiznit,
dude. That's like full on buffets at Vegas.
That's like full on like sauce. One of your chromosomes.
People love horseradish sauce. If you go
you love horseradish sauce,
dude. If you don't like horseradish sauce, you have no backbone because that stuff is so delicious. That stuff is so delicious, man. It really it's the bomb. And if you ever go to Las Vegas, you love Las Vegas. I'm shocked that you don't like horseradish sauce because all their buffets are prime rib and shrimp. And prime rib is you eat that with horseradish sauce and horseradish root.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe you don't. I don't know, dude. But I got that, and I will always try that if there's good barbecue. But I got the tri-tip and dip, and she got the brisket, and she even tried like my tri-tip sandwich, dude. And she was like, "Oh, I wish I got that." And I was
nice.
Yeah, dude. So I knew I got something great. It was delicious. We went back that night. We actually watched The Three Amigos at her house, the DVD.
I love that movie, dude.
Dude, yeah, it's an old movie. It's like with Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and
you gotta let me borrow it.
What's his name? Steve Martin. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot.
Jesus Christ.
Steve Martin. Yeah. So it has Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase, and they're basically these 3 white guys. They're actors, and there's a city in Mexico, and there's like some evil villain bad guy who's like taking over their town. And one of the ladies that lives in the town, she sees like something in the cinema from the United States, and it's the 3 amigos, the 3 comedians, but they are movie stars in the United States, and they always play like they're amigos, you know what I mean? And they like rescue the towns in all the movies, but she thinks that it's real, and so she sends a telegraph to these guys to the movie studio, and they intercept it. They get it, and it's like, hey, can you help us? And come down here, and she's really sending out a distress call. And so they think they're going to a show, and she thinks that she's hiring these 3 real like superhero like amigo guys that are like look like mariachis, and they have like the shiniest like hats, dude, like outfits. They show up, dude, and then they realize they're up against like this tyrant of the bad guy's name is El Guapo, which means like the handsome. It's just a funny movie. They end up battling him and everything like that, and coming together with the town. Super hilarious movie. We watched that. I got to hang out with her nephew. We were playing like football. He's like 2 years old. It was a pretty fun trip. That was pretty much all we did. We did go to the zoo on one of the days. We went.
I saw pictures about that. How was that?
It was the Fresno Zoo.
We have 6 coyotes. We have 2 stray cats. It's gonna be the
They had dude. It was pretty huge. They did have a coyote den. It was like this big like gated off area, where basically just like a patch of dirt and coyotes running around. But they had these giant fields like out there. I remember going to the zoo. But I can't remember if it was the LA Zoo or like the San Diego Zoo. I remember Brian Hass took us when we were kids, and I remember seeing like I remember seeing monkeys, and what I really remember that I did not see like compared to the Fresno Zoo, like when we went the other day, was they had these giant fields, and I was like posting it to Snapchat with like the Jurassic Park theme song. These giant open green fields with like rhinoceroses and like elephants. Like just running around freely, giant ostriches.
Ostriches.
They had like a full on like a gated area with like monkeys like swinging from like branches and everything like that. But the whole place just seemed so empty. Like I felt like there was like 3 or 4 other couples just kind of walking around, and there's like so many.
Look, this shit sucks.
There was so many.
Monkeys like I know.
There were so many employees walking around. I was like, they've got to just be.
There's more employees than there was animals employed.
They had to be like
these writers like, dude, I'm doing double time, John. This is so stupid.
Yeah. All right, as like a business manager at work, like I'm analyzing how much money and how much debt this place is probably hemorrhaging. Like every day just by being open and feeding.
The rhinos were like, this shit's stupid, brah.
Yeah, and. There were so few people there, and there were so many animals and so much staff.
They're like, it's $13,000 to park here.
Just imagine, it was. Here's the thing. It was cheap to park. It was $5, and the
they're like, oh, you want that funnel cake? Oh, it's $13 million.
The tickets I think were like $10 to get in.
Christ.
Kids are free and everything like that. And she took her.
Like kids are free unless they have like skin.
Yeah.
Hair, and then there are 13 million each.
It was funny though because we got this one exhibit where it was just rhinos, full on horns sticking up and everything. And there was this one like hick redneck mom. She had her kid and she was pointing out to the rhinos, and she's like, look at the elephants. Those are elephants. And I'm like looking at the sign. I know they're rhinos, but I'm just looking at the sign just to like. Am I just not seeing this right, or is she just a complete idiot? And of course, I look at it, it's rhinoceros. And she's like, her poor kid is just
baby Joe. You know your mom can't read. You know them are elephants.
That poor child, dude, growing up around her mom is so stupid.
She's like, Mom, we're at the bathroom.
Yeah, dude.
That's his male and female. Those are the male and female. Just you shut up.
Yeah. But anyway, the zoo in Fresno, it was actually called the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, and I was like asking like one of the employees like, why is it the Fresno Chaffee Zoo? Chaffee. He's like, well, Chaffee was one of the founders, and he's like turn around. He like told me to turn around, and there was like a plaque of some guy like named something Chaffee, and he's like, the zoo is named after him. And if you look in 1948, and he just started going off about like blah blah blah. I was like, dude, this is so stupid. And the whole. It was like right in front of like how like at a theme park they'll have like a little store where they sell like the stuffed animals. So they had all the stuffed animals of everything that they had an exhibit. Like the stuffed monkeys or stuffed tigers or stuffed wolf or whatever. And then like little instruments and stuff. There was just nobody in there buying anything. And there's just one girl who like she's like 19 years old. She looks like she's on her cell phone. There's nobody in there buying anything. This place just looks like it's gonna get shut down. I'm 100% sure that this place is being subsidized by like the city or the county, because it just looks like
it's just like a fake. It's like a fake front.
How is this place being funded?
I think about that shit all the time.
But at the same time, it's like,
especially with video stores.
Well, before we go there, I want to say like, how isn't something like this funded? Because the things that I saw at the zoo, as funny as it sounds, like were miraculous. You know, like I saw like a rhino running across the field. I saw elephants, you know, in herds. I saw like full on like wolves just like, you know, gathering together. Then they had, of course, like the whole aquatic area. I saw monkeys, you know, flying across, you know, hanging on to different tree limbs. And
it's crazy. Yeah,
and it's just like to think, you know, that's in the middle of the city and there's just nobody there that really cares, dude, you know. And
they're like,
yeah, but
maybe all right.
But when you're a tourist somewhere or you're visiting a place and you look up, you know, like the top 10 places to go to, you know, we're visiting in Fresno. It's like, hey, we got to get out
on Yelp. Yeah,
we got to go out. We got to do something while we're here, you know. And if all those number one hits are go to the zoo, you know, like, yeah, hey, go to the zoo, and we also have a Bobo down the street. And it's like, all right, let's go to the zoo. You know,
like, there's one crazy chick.
We have a zoo.
She makes really good soup, dude. Yes. Really good. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. So we went to the zoo, and we drove back Friday, and I knew that on Friday night we were gonna go to a concert. It was the Walk the Moon concert, and this was actually my Christmas gift.
Oh, how was that? Tell me all about that.
So the concert was in Hollywood, and it was at I keep wanting to say like the Pantera. I don't know where it was. But it was Walk the Moon was playing, and the show was going to be at 7. And my girlfriend's one of those people where she wants to go there and get in line at like 4 o'clock, like standing there in line forever to make sure that we get to stand in the very front. Because where we were going, like this place was just like a theater it wasn't seating. It was just first come, first serve, and you're standing in this giant flat room, you know, like, or it's just like a big flat, and there's like balconies that surround the whole stadium. But after like all this driving, you know, I just want to go home and take a nap first. So I drive straight home. We get back at like 3:30. And I was like, all right, we'll get up, we'll take a nap till like 5 o'clock. Jesus. And then we'll drive there, and we'll be there like, of course I'm thinking we'll get there at 6:30, 30 minutes before. We get there inside by 7, and then we're there for the concert just in time. We leave at 5:30. We get there with traffic, you know, because this is prime time on a Friday. Everyone's bustle and hustle. And we get in there at like 7:30. The show still hasn't started, thank God. But we got through security. But all the standing room was taken. So the only place where we were going to get a really great view was up on this balcony that was on the left side. They had a VIP one on the right side. And so we just go to the one up on the left. There's no one up there. And it's just hanging right over the stage. And so we go up there. We get a great spot. And we just watch the whole thing and Walk the Moon. It's kind of like dance rock, you know, kind of like a lot of synths. It's super cool. Like their most mainstream song is "Shut Up and Dance with Me." They have
"Shut Up and Dance with Me."
Yeah, Portugal.
It's a great song.
Aquaman. They have a lot of cool stuff, man. You just go on your Spotify or your YouTube and check them out. And they just came out a few years ago, so they've only had 2 or 3 albums at this point come out. But a lot of their songs have gotten better and better, and I love it, dude. So that was a great gift from her, and it was a great show to see live. One of the shows that, you know, whenever you go and see a show live, you're always wondering if the band is going to perform as good as what you heard on the album. And for a band that's only been out for a few years, you would expect that they are going to be as good as the album, and they were. You know, you get somebody, you go see it like when I watched the Eagles, and it was like 30 years after their prime time, and you know those songs like the back of your hand because they're famous at this point. It's been out. Everyone knows those songs.
People have them tattooed on their friggin' skin.
Exactly. You know, but when you go there, like those songs, they just don't sound the same, or they have band members that are, you know, twice removed, or, you know, or it's just like it's not the same anymore. It's just like a whole different lineup. When we went to Walk the Moon, you know, it's all the OG lineup. They're still somewhat new. They sounded exactly like they sound on the record. And actually, it was a much better experience to see.
And it's always good when they sound exactly kind of how they sound on the actual like CD or whatever, because it's like you'll hear it like I've went to hear like a ton of different bands, and like when you hear them, it's just like they do not sound like this live. Like
a lot of bands don't, you know. A lot of bands
terrible.
Don't.
But if they sound like freaking good, you're like, dude, they sound like just like that on the CD. Dude, that's a fucking solid band.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. They sounded exactly like they did on all their albums.
That's a good band, bro.
Yeah, it was good.
So I'm sure that was a freaking awesome show.
It was amazing.
Yeah, you guys probably had a great show.
So we got back. We got back at like midnight. I think we stopped at like In-N-Out Burger, and we just came back here and crashed. And then we woke up the next morning. I had to go get Michelle at the airport because Michelle flew back in with Trevor, her husband, from Arkansas. And she's visiting she's basically here for 5 days, 4 or 5 days.
They're from Archie.
Yeah, from Archuleta. Yeah.
Hashtag Archie.
And so she's like, I'm flying in at 9:30. And, can you pick me up from the LAX airport? I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, first off, and before you even got up, how many text messages did you have?
I didn't have any because my phone was dead. But I knew that I was going to be flooded with text messages from Michelle, who's landing at the airport and expecting to be picked up.
Dad texted me, was like, is Mitch up yet? Yeah. And, I didn't even answer that until, 11:30, 2 hours later. It's like, yeah, he's up.
Yeah, I guess, it's just, the father-daughter thing where he wants to make sure that she's getting picked up and he wants to make sure that someone's there. But, I knew and I anticipated that I would get all those texts. And I just let my phone die from the night before because I was taking all those videos of Walk the Moon. I set my alarm.
And you have picked up a million different people from that LAX, and you know exactly the good times to go, when you need more time, and you timed it right?
I did. I woke up at 9 o'clock, so her flight's landing at quote unquote 9:30. So, all right, well I'll set my clock for 9 o'clock, and so I get up, I take a shower. I end up leaving the house by myself at 9:30 to go pick them up. Now, I know they're landing at 5:30, but, there's sometimes delays, and then you got to get your baggage. And I know that, dude, because I picked up, like you said, a million people from the airport.
9:50 was when they were
I've picked up you from the airport. Yeah, it was actually 9:50. So by the time I get down there, it's about 10:10. And if you've ever been to LAX, it's just like this giant circle, that you're basically a giant traffic circle. That you go in circles and you can pick up, people at Terminal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or whatever, wherever their airport is for arriving flights. And I get there and I send the one text, and by this time my phone is charged and I've read all the texts from Michelle. Hey, we're on our way. Guess what? We're halfway there. Hey, we've landed. Yes, the text from Dad, the text from Mom, from sisters.
Dad, all jokes,
Michelle's landing.
all
Michelle's
jokes.
landing. Yeah, it's like. I know, and I'll be there and I'll pick her up. And I ended up just responding with one text to one person, which was Pops, and I just wrote, I got it, and cause I was responsible for picking her up and then getting the carne asada and the chicken for...
And that's all you needed to say.
Yeah, that's all I said. And then, so I got there to the airport probably around 10:10. I sent the one text, hey, I'm here. And I don't want to be there doing loops all day. So I figured that my timing was going to be perfect. And when I sent that text, she responded, just got our bags and we're almost out. So I've done
7 loops around that place.
I only did one loop. I did one loop and they were out. So my timing was pretty much almost perfect.
That's perfect.
Left there, had Trevor and Michelle in the car. We went back to Bellflower before we went out to Menifee because we were going to do our celebration out there for her visiting. That was going to be with you and Ivy. With our other sister Jessica and her husband Cole, and our cousin Kayla was going to come out and everything like that. And made one stop by Dad's request. It was to pick up the meat for the party, which was carne asada and chicken from this little place called Luis's. Oh,
also we had to stop. There's a little place that Trevor needed to stop. He has very small feet.
Yeah,
and like size 3. It's weird. It's not his fault. So he have this little it's like a booty place. So you put little tiny socks on children. So we stopped there. He wanted 36 socks. So we bought 36 different color socks. They're really small socks for his feet, but he's gonna love it. Anyways, keep going, Mitch.
We came back here. We got the meat, and I was actually shocked because I never buy the freaking meat like Dad would always buy for the parties.
Yeah,
and. So I didn't really gauge what...
Well, what did you buy?
I didn't really gauge how much more carne asada costs compared to chicken.
Yeah. Well, what did you get?
Well, I got 6 pounds of each. And so...
Of chicken and the carne, right?
Yeah. So the chicken was a little more than $2 a pound.
They're both delicious.
So it came out to $15 for chicken. And then the carne asada was... Oh, do the math. It was $45 for 6 pounds of that. So it was
$6,
$7, $8, somewhere between $7 and $8. And
dude, just make more money.
Yeah. So we got the meat, and my girlfriend, she bought a bunch of pan dulce for desserts. And then we came back over here. We just kind of kicked it for a while. Where's Misty at? And then we all headed over to Mom and Dad's, and it was actually really fun. You know, it was really good to be back with. Like I was talking to Tommy last night. It was almost kind of like the full dynamic was there.
It was kind of surreal. It was like
me, Tommy, Michelle, and Jessica, our mom and dad, and all of our significant others.
The whole aura was together. The whole every single brother and sister and mom and dad all together. Mm-hmm. And there was just like, I was actually telling my wife that I was just like, you know, we get together, it's fun. It's like we do this, we do that, but it's like having Michelle there. Yeah, and it just kind of completed the. Right. It just completed the cookie.
Yeah, when she got married, and she left, and then we had family gatherings after that. I like talking to Michelle, and I always like kind of bouncing jokes off her, and she's always been really fun for me to talk to.
For sure.
And you know, it's the same with you, and it's the same with Jess, but with Michelle especially, she just, you know, you have that connection.
No, even when she was living down there, she would come out and like hang out with us and go to comedy shows. Yeah. So we're on the same like wavelength. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I missed her a lot, and having her back yesterday.
Don't really start crying, dude.
Yeah, I'm not gonna cry, but it was just so great, you know, for her to be back, and for all of us to kind of be together. It was just full circle. We were all there, like I said, all our significant others. I don't think we
and our ugly stepbrother Trevor. He was there.
Yeah, he could put on a couple pounds there.
Just good, Trevor. Though.
Yeah, he was eyeballing that pan dulce all night that Bella brought.
He's like, are you guys gonna want to eat all of this chili? Like,
we kept looking for him, and we kept finding him. Yeah,
I'm just gonna
with his hand in the
pan
dulce
bag. If there's any big chips, you know, I'll take
dude.
those, and then I'll put all salsa on that, and I'll eat that. I'll do that for you. I love him.
Yeah, it was fun. And the difference is, you know, because we've had, you know, going out to Menifee, that's where Mom and Dad's new house is at. And we've been out there a few times already, and obviously, and when they were living in Bellflower, whenever we would get together, you know,
they're always like, come on down.
You hang out.
Like it's 30 minutes away.
You hang out, you eat, you know, there might be a movie.
It's an hour and a half away.
Yeah, and there might be a movie, there might be two movies, but you know, we didn't watch any TV. We were hanging out the whole time. We didn't even play.
Nice.
We didn't even play games, and these are just like conversation starters, or it's like, you know, let's do something that
they might have tried it a couple times.
We're like, no, I know Jessica, she did try, but
shut it down.
It wasn't necessary. It was just fun catching up with everybody and laughing, and
it was.
You know, it was funny that one point where Cole said he had to take a pee, and I think he was in the bathroom for 10 minutes, and he was playing his video game.
30. He was in the
for like an hour. Yeah,
dude. Yeah. Okay, Cole's like, I'll be right back, but he'll take a pee, and he's like,
Jessica's texting him like, where are you at? He's like,
I was like,
taking a pee.
I was like, did he go home?
I thought he did too.
I know he lives like close to home. I was like, did he go home for something? She was like, no, he's in the bathroom. And it was like 30 minutes later, and he comes back out. I'm like, Cole, are you okay, bro? Like, are you fine? He's just like, yeah. And then Michelle and I both got really good videos of him, like just sitting back on the couch playing this crazy video game. But his eyes were like this.
Yeah, it was like Mr. Unibrow.
He looked like a crackhead.
Eyebrows were going up and down.
So freaking funny.
It was fun. We had the fire pit out. We had the barbecue. Tommy and we fired up that barbecue a lot earlier than our dad planned on doing. I think.
Yeah, they wanted to.
He's like, you guys just kind of took over the barbecue. Huh? He wanted to do it at 5. We got there around 2 though.
We got there around 2, and me and you like, all right, where's the barbecue? We pulled it out, took the cover off.
Yeah, honestly, I think you were a little more on that than I was, because I know we were both hungry, but you actually went out there and pulled the barbecue out and just turned it on, and I was like, all right, dude, we'll start cooking. We just pulled the meat out, and Mom came home. She was hanging out with her friends.
And then Dad like told me later on in the night, he was like, yeah, dude, like when you guys were out there cooking, he was like, Mom was sitting right here. She's like, come on, go get the beans and rice ready. Come on, they're all ready to eat. Like, and like, I didn't know that they wanted to cook at like a later time. I didn't eat. I haven't eaten anything at that point.
Yeah,
and neither had anybody else. And I was just like, let's eat. And then I didn't realize they were like not really ready to eat. But dude, who cares? We got that shit rocking.
I think after 30 years of Dad cooking
Dad's like,
carne asada.
I don't have to cook.
Yeah, he finally realized, like, dude, we got it, man. We watched you do this enough times, you know. But I mean, he still came out there and he was like sticking his pocket knife into the middle of the chicken, like, this is how you know when it's ready, you know. And he was like concerned, like the grease was gonna like pop off. Yeah, you were like, and then, but you actually kind of got to like play cornhole with Dad and
yeah.
Because I got a nice little backyard and everything.
Our dad has like a cornhole area.
Yeah,
set up, and it's like doesn't sound weird.
That was funny
it's
watching
essentially
you
like
guys
a little
play.
ramp. What it looks like is like a ramp.
Yeah,
and there's like a big hole.
It's a nice place, man.
There's like a half hole.
It's a nice place.
And then you have bean bags, and if you throw it into
his
the big hole,
cave,
you get a point. But if you get it into like a small hole, you get a bigger point. Anyways,
5 points.
It's just white trash.
It's definitely a white person's game, like croquet or something like that. But we sit there and talk about our stocks and our portfolios.
He's just like, yeah, dude, Cole and his brother, they play this for hours and they love it. And then Cole got there and he's just like, oh, hey, Cole. And I was like, hey, Cole, you want to play? And then Cole jumped on with me. We played for like an hour and they're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, dude, cornhole. So yeah, good times. I didn't get to play yesterday, dude. So I was barbecuing the whole time. I kind of got stuck at the pit, right?
You're manning that freaking barbecue though, dude.
It was good, dude, and all the food came out good. You know what's funny? Even though the chicken's cheaper, I actually prefer that over the carne asada from there. And they
really
they have like all the onions and cilantro like mixed in, and when you actually cook it, dude,
so
it's delicious.
That's the one thing where you like the versus going and picking up like a good let's just say marinated meat at like Ralph's.
Yeah.
And like a good marinated like carne asada at Ralph's. They're gonna have like just like a cheap freaking crap that's just like, oh yeah, we have our
chuck or something.
Our random meat that's marinated with one onion and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
and then you
like
can
trapped
take that
underneath the packaging.
Yeah,
it's weighed by the pound.
Our chicken's marinated. It's got like one little slice of like
not as good
thing around it or whatever. Anyways,
but these Mexican places, dude, they got it down pat. You're like, it's just you go in there, you feel happy. The guy's just like, he's like one-on-one with you. How many pounds do you need, dude? Just tell me right now. Do you want it prepped or not prepped? Do you want a sandwich before you go? Because they have a little thing in the back where like they can actually make you food.
They're like, do you want Maria to give you a massage before you leave? And I'm like, maybe next time.
They're like, just trying to pay the light bill, like just buy something already, dude. But I gotta say, and I told you yesterday at the house, hanging out with all you guys and all of us being back together and everything, the dust has settled, from all these crazy events and weddings and stuff, and just being there was probably the best time I've had with our family in about maybe 2 years or 3 years, because it's always just so like some high stress event, something going on, and just to be able to go over there and just cook and relax and just kick it, was just so nice, dude.
And I told Ivy the same exact thing too last night when we were driving home. I drove there and I was like, you're driving home. And after we left there, and I was just like, God, I'm like, and like, she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm just feeling peaceful.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. Like why? And I was just like, it's just been a long time since we've all been together.
Right, yeah.
That it's like, I don't know, maybe juju juice or whatever, but having the four of us all together, like the energy is just balanced, and it's just like, it feels freaking great.
Yeah.
Like, I just feels like the circle is all complete.
Yeah.
Or the square is complete,
Yeah, but it also makes you think, like, I want you to really, really kind of, use your little time machine, go back in time and just remember, what it was like being here at the house when we all six lived together. There was a point where all four of us were, before marriages, before anything crazy, before jobs and bills took over your life.
I think about that
we all lived here together.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah, man. So it's just...
I think about the times where
nostalgia.
You and I had our own room.
Yeah.
And
now we have our own studio. So there you go.
And we were sneaking out of our own room, to go and do fun stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. And then the one bonus we got, aside of just all of us being together, of course, Jessica's kids were there. You got, I know there was a few funny moments with you and Joy and our niece Joy and our
she's
nephew
adorable.
Asher. What did she say?
It's so crazy, dude. Every time I see Joy, it's like she says like something new. But there's this like one point where I was just like sitting on the couch. And she's just like walking by, hi Uncle Tommy, and then just keeps walking by. I'm just like, she just walked by and said hi Uncle Tommy. Like to me that was like, hilarious and also like that was freaking awesome.
Yeah, it was cool, dude.
That was my niece that just said that.
Is your little 2-year-old
That
niece.
Was my sister's baby. Daughter, baby. Said that. Like,
yeah, dude.
This is freaking
that
crazy,
little chubby
bro.
baby
like,
that came out of the oven.
This shit is gnarly, man.
It is.
Like, that's my sister's little baby that just walked by me and just said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And they just walked by. I'm like,
yeah, dude.
That's gnarly, dude.
It's all aunts and uncles, and who knows who's gonna have the next kid, But I'm thinking probably Michelle will probably have the next kid. But another gnarly thing is, you guys are all married. I'm in a relationship, and I brought Bella, and even Joy, in her tiny short life, and it's been just around 2 years, and she's already calling Bella Aunt Bella, so it's just crazy, dude.
It's mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing to hear that. And, just as I approach 30, getting older, and we're not trying to get too mushy on you guys on this podcast, but maybe it'll fly because it's close to Valentine's Day and love is in the air and all that kind of stuff. But
love is in the air.
But I love you, bro. And, since Michelle is down and visiting, we wanted to post, I pulled out a song. Michelle has a great voice, and that's actually how she's
got a beautiful voice.
She does, and that's if you don't remember, Michelle, our sister, and Trevor actually met through an application on their phones for singing. It was basically a karaoke app.
Yeah.
And so Michelle can sing, and I play guitar. And when we were living together years ago,
really well.
Yeah, and when we were living together years ago, I would always record.
Not as good as me, but she's up there.
Yeah, she's getting up. Not as good as you on karaoke on a Friday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was always singing, and right before we recorded this podcast, we were going over all this old music that I recorded, throughout my early 20s and everything like that. I had so much music that I just never put out, and it was just like always tinkering with the computer and playing guitar. But we came across one song called "Start With You."
It's gold.
And it was a song that I wrote on guitar, and Michelle sang on it, and we're actually going to play it for you guys. This will be the first time it's ever been released. It's called "Start With You." Michelle is singing the song. It's a song kind of based about, it's just a song about if you want to, change the world in a positive way, you start with yourself, and you go from there. So here it is for the first time ever, "Start With You," featuring Michelle on vocals, Mitchell on everything else, guitars.
Michelle Hunt.
Talent.
Let's get it, baby.
Michelle, we love you. We're glad that you're down here visiting, and here's your song.
Thank you so much. Here you go, baby.
1, 2, 3.
See the need for
that's her song. What do you think, dude? So that was 2014 or like 15 or something like that. But yeah, dude, that's fun to record. That kind of has like that 80s feel, you know, and just all the reverb and everything.
And then at the end, we should just be like, "Thanks, Michelle. We love you."
Yeah, we love you, Michelle. You know, what can I say? She's doing all the thank you. I want to thank the Academy. Yeah, so hopefully you guys like that song. If you like it, I have a bunch of other songs. A few that she's on singing, and a few I've done on guitar.
Some crazy hip hop, trap, like twerk shit.
Yeah,
you're gonna love it.
You know, stuff to write home about. If you guys want to hear more, leave us a message in the comments. You know, or just send us a message. But anyway, dude. So I wanted to tell you about something that I did today. I always like these are one of those things where I call them like I made a fat move. I made a fat boy move. I went to McDonald's because I heard that there was a Junior Mac and there was a Grand Mac, and it's all a part of this Big Mac family, dude. It's like, okay, like the Junior Mac is like, Tommy's shaking his head. The Junior Mac is, I guess, like, it doesn't have the middle bun, and it has one less patty, so it's like, tastes like a Big Mac.
Dude, that sounds so loser.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like it doesn't have the same. I read an article. It doesn't have the same. Yeah, it doesn't have the same.
Oh, dude, no, I read an article, bro.
Wait. It doesn't have the same theatrics as the Big Mac. Wait, they said that. I read an article from a food critic, and it says, due to the fact that the Junior Mac it basically aces the middle bun and that extra patty, it just doesn't have the same theatrics as a Big Mac. And then it says, however, we here at whatever magazine it was, we thought that the Grand Mac would lose the Big Mac taste because it would be too big and the proportions would be all off. However, compared to the Big Mac where you bite into it and the lettuce falls all over the place, the Grand Mac was big enough to where you got this, you had more of a consistency throughout the entire cheeseburger. Dude, so I go over there and I'm thinking, I'm going to order like a Grand Mac meal, dude. And so I get down there, dude, and the Grand Mac meal is like $7.99. I was like, I'm not spending $8 on a hamburger meal from McDonald's. It's stupid.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck in line between two cars, and I'm just looking at their little value menu, dude, and they have cheeseburger on there. And like, see, back in my day, dude, it was like you could get the cheeseburgers for 39 cents. And you go there on a Sunday and you freaking close the place. You'd order like, 5 cheeseburgers for like $2. And I ordered 4 cheeseburgers today, dude. And now all their sodas it's like $1 and you can pick any size. So I got like a large soda, 4 cheeseburgers. Those are $1 each. So it's a $5 meal. I ate 2 on the way home. And then I got in here and I started writing music because you were gone at Knott's Berry Farm. And I ate 2 cheeseburgers once I got in, dude. And I felt like such a freaking whale.
How were those?
Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't think McDonald's is great food, but there's something that happens to me where like every 6 months.
It's called diarrhea, dude.
Yeah, dude, it happens
to most
people. Every 6 months, dude, I have this weird thing that goes off in my head.
Dude, Ronald McDonald just took me to the butthole. He's just like...
Don't forget. I didn't get a toy with it.
So you go to the balls for
I didn't
the slide,
get a toy with it, yeah.
And he just comes in.
Dude, I'm telling you, like this freaking thing goes off in my head every 6 months.
What happens?
And it's just like it's Ronald like whispering into my ear like, dude, you need a freaking Big Mac, dude. You need some cheeseburgers right now, bro. And I go down there and I buy like 4 cheeseburgers, dude, or a Big Mac.
And he's in your butthole, like.
Dude, I downloaded the freaking app on my phone that gives you like $1 off, like 2 signature crafted sandwiches or whatever. They didn't have anything, dued, like for the Grand Mac meal, so I didn't end up using it. But that's my guilty pleasure for the day, dude. I didn't end up getting the Grand Mac or the Junior Mac. I can only imagine what it tastes like. But, dude, the freaking Big Mac, for what it's worth, is a good sandwich. It does taste good. If you eat it no more than maybe every 6 months. So, anyway, moving on. Tell me, where did you go today? You went to Knott's Berry Farm?
Yeah, dude, I went to Knott's Berry Farm. So it's like been like my wife's like birthday weekend. So today is Sunday. We did like
24.
Latin on Saturday. Like went bar hopping Saturday. Blah blah blah. Anyways, today is Sunday, and we were like, you know what? We should go to Knott's Berry Farm. We've never been there together, and like we haven't been there together in like almost 10 years. And we were looking at passes and versus tickets. Tickets were like $40 to $60. And then we were like, you can get a pass for like $90. So we got a pass for $90. And
that's not bad.
It was awesome. Yeah. So we got
compared to Disneyland or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, I have friends. I don't have a pass at Disneyland, but do you have one?
Yeah.
How much was it?
It was like $300 or $400.
$300 or $400 for one.
A Universal one that was about $125.
Yeah.
Which is basically, but they're all, like, Disneyland is an outlier where they're really expensive. But it makes sense to have a Knott's Berry Farm pass, not just for the nostalgia, and that's where we grew up. They actually have a lot of great rides and a lot of good food. But, at least compared to, like, Universal, which only has, like, not that many rides, but Knott's Berry Farm has a lot of great rides, a lot of great food. It's very local for us. It's like a 15 minute drive down the freeway. And
I got to tell you about some of these packages they have.
About what?
Bro. So, you can get the normal pass. Yeah, you can get it anytime.
Yeah. They
have a food pass. It's $100 per person.
You bought it?
I'm just saying.
All right.
I haven't bought it yet. But I'm gonna buy it. Because if we're going to go there a lot more, I'm going to buy it. It's $100 for the whole year.
Yeah.
And basically, you can get at any of these restaurants a full course meal.
How many times?
Every 4 hours.
Oh, dude.
So you can go on like a great time, like get there, order like a big steak dinner, blah, 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 and then 4 hours later check into like another spot and just be like, hey, I want blah blah blah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Get a huge meal, and it's not like it would probably cost you $100 for the day to just get those snacks and whatever.
Yeah.
Versus like you can get a pass now that's $100 and you can eat like a pig every 4 hours like you're doing now. Like twice if you're gonna stay there for at least 8 hours.
Did you eat inside the park today?
We did. We actually ate up right outside the park.
Where'd you go?
Well, when we first got there, we went to like.
Wait, so the pass is only good inside the park, right?
Yeah.
Did they have good food in there?
Well, I don't know what the pass comes with.
Okay, dude, that's something to look into though, because I would just go down there and start just to get lunch, dude. If you had a pass.
I mean, I put it on Facebook, and one of my friends was like, "Dude, I don't understand why homeless people don't freaking save up and apply for this stuff, because it's like." She's like, every 4 hours or every 2 to 4 hours, you can access your card and you can eat like a full, huge portion. Like
just live there all day.
All day.
Yeah, you go on rides. You pay $90 for
or
your
just
pass.
Walk around, or just there's so many little areas. Dude, if you just go like there's like little like areas where like people are camping.
Well, you're right.
Like,
if you're homeless and you can sum up. $90 for a pass, or like $200 total for the food and whatever. You could just walk there, get your meals all day, and you're golden, dude. You just got to go home at night. And
you might even be able to figure out how everything works and just even apply for a job there.
Even better. There you go.
It's like if you're gonna spend all day there, you might as well work there.
Just go on rides by yourself and call it a day.
I mean, yeah.
You're
gonna find out how things work, and then you're just like, I want to.
You're homeless. You're homeless. You get a couple bucks on the side. You get your book, and you go and sit in a nice sunny area inside the park. You go get your meals every 4 hours.
That's how Steve Martin started. He started working at Disneyland in like the early days, and he would just work in their magic shop, and then he would try to like make people laugh and blah blah blah. And then eventually worked his way to like, I'm going to go to take this little show to, this place. And then obviously I'm going to take it to Hollywood. And then so on and so forth. So it's like, man, you just got to get out there and do what you love every day.
Uh-huh.
If you're out there doing what you love, people are going to recognize your talent.
They better recognize. So what rides did you go on?
Dude, we went on so many rides. Actually, we went on 2.
Which one?
We were there for 4 hours, but like a lot of that was like in lines. The very first ride went on Silver Bullet. And we ran up to that friggin', we're like, oh, the roller coaster. We're like in such a good mood. Yeah. And we're like, how long is the line? He's like 5 minutes. We're like, oh yeah. And then we went on the ride and like jumped on and had a great time. And then
you were only there for 4 hours and you went on the bullet. And then what else?
And then I met one of my friends that were there. Uh-huh. And it was like a mom, a dad, and then they had their little baby. And then the baby was being pushed in a stroller by the grandma. And they were like, oh, let's go to the next one. And we went to the next one.
Huff and Puff.
And it took like 2 hours to get into Ghost
Rider?
Ghost Rider.
You waited 2 hours?
Just about.
Damn, dude. On a freaking Sunday?
Dude, my freaking... Like, dude,
did you see the whole ghost town and the western area?
No.
You just weren't there that long, huh?
No, we weren't there that long.
So
and then after that,
you didn't relive the magic, man.
Dude, we barely even walked into the front gates of Pandora, bro.
We went there so many times as a kid. Dude, Knott's Berry Farm is a place to explore.
Oh, dude, I was barely showing her bottle houses how they were like, oh, this is a bottle house, and they were like,
that's been there since we were kids.
Dude, I know, and I was like, you didn't even know, like, this is like my old stomping grounds. Yeah. And I was like, this is a bottle house. It was built of bottles. Like,
I remember the bottle house.
Projecting just crap.
Remember the guy the fake guy that talks to you, or he's like a It's like not a statue, but he's like a mannequin.
Hologram.
He talks to you and he's in the jail. He's like in the jail, but it's like actually some other guy like in a room that's watching with a microphone. Take her on all the rides, dude. Like the log ride.
Shit.
You didn't go on the log ride.
Holy shit! I forgot about that.
About what? The guy in the jail?
What was that guy? What was that?
So there was a jail. There's basically like a little jail. When you look in through the little jail bars, and then he's talking to you, but it's really just another guy in another room.
When you're a little kid, you're looking at essentially this jail. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And then you can go in there and let's just say there's like a little kid with you. And you're going to like want to tease this little kid. His name is John. Right? So then you'll go tell the guy on the very, very left, like, his name's John.
Yeah, it's another guy. It's an employee watching from.
And then they pretend in this this old jail to talk to that kid.
Yeah, he has his mic.
He's like, "Hey, John," and he's like, "What? Oh, yeah. Me? Yeah.
How you doing over there?
How you doing over there?"
Like, we would always try to figure that out.
Oh, he's talking to me? Holy crap!
We could never figure that out, and then Dad finally we realized Dad would always take us to the jail. And we didn't realize he'd be like, all right, run over there and go talk to the guy in the jail. We never realized he was kind of holding back and talking to some other guy in another little office who had the camera and the mic to that room so that mannequin would talk to us. But
that is so crazy, bro.
You forgot about that.
I totally forgot about that.
The log ride, there's like the Calico gold mine.
Yeah. Ride. So we got there and she was like,
the train. The full-on train, dude. There's like a train that goes through the whole thing.
You gotta go back. And they rob you halfway through.
Yeah, there's a show on the train. You gotta go back. And you gotta.
Oh no, we're going
really
back. We got. And then I was like, it was $80 for tickets, and then you can get it's like $95 for the whole year. Wow. It's like, let's just get a friggin'.
It's cheaper than it used to be.
And then tickets. I mean, for parking, it's like $20 each way. And then I bought a thing for like $18.
Pay 20 when you go in and 20 when you go out, or what?
It's just 18. It's just free every time now.
Is it free?
Yeah.
To park?
It's like $18, and it was free for the whole year now.
Oh, nice.
So
you gotta pay the first time.
Just come with me. It's only one car.
Okay.
Just come with me. But I mean, dude, to go to Knott's for a whole year, bro, for under $100 is cheap.
Yeah, it's cheap, dude. But
and it's like I haven't been there in like 10 years, man. So it's like for like me and Ivy, it's like brand new. It's like brand new territory.
Yeah, but I think you forgot. Did you see
the
show? Did you watch the show? Like where they were like,
I forgot everything, but I remembered everything.
Like right when you go in on the left at Knott's Berry Farm, there's like a little West show. Where like the guy's like shooting the guy and he's up on the balcony and he falls off and he like breaks the balcony as he's dying. He falls into like the pad so he doesn't really die.
Yeah.
That whole West show's still there because I went there maybe like 6 months ago with Bella, and then you got like the log ride. You got the ghost mine ride. You got
so like
Hammerhead.
We had those two rides, and then and I was like we were with some friends and they were leaving. And I was like, oh, we're gonna leave too, but we're just gonna go outside of the park and get some food. So there's food all over the park. There's bomb places all over. But if you jump on Yelp, The front of Knott's Berry Farm is like the shit. It's like 5 stars. It's a chicken dinner house. That's where you want to go. It's fried chicken.
No, we used to go there when we were kids.
We went there once.
Yeah.
There's fried chicken. It's just like the best, bombest meal you could ever have. So we're like, okay, let's go. And we went in there and they're like, oh, it's like an hour and a half wait. I'm like, God damn it. We're like, what about the bar? They're like, it's self-seating. So we went and found like this little place at the bar. And there's like nobody there. They're like perfect. Bartender came.
Hey, that restaurant's bigger than it looks. So you walk in, and on the very right, there's like a little side room, a big giant side room. There's that bar right there, right?
Huge room.
Is that where you sat, right there on the right, when you walk in?
Yeah.
It's like a square bar, right? Big square bar.
Uh-huh. But there's also seating on the side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I went and sat in there, and they brought us like one person's worth of chicken. It was like one breast, one whatever each piece, and then they have like mashed potatoes,
some mashed potatoes, bro.
Dude, the freaking just the rolls by themselves were damn it, they are so good, bro. They were so good.
Yeah, and since Knott's Berry Farm,
the butter, you just put it in there and just
butter
melts.
and the jam. Knott's Berry Farm used to be, well, obviously a berry farm. It really did used to be a berry farm, so their jellies on point. All their jellies that they make are
what
on point.
Was our old principal's name that used to work there?
Oh, Kirk Reel, and he worked at the jam shop that was still there when we were kids, and so he was basically a principal at our
parents bought us passes to the park, and then our principal used to work at that park, and we would go visit him and be like, hey,
yeah, it was just some old guy. Yeah, it was like some old guy. He worked at the jam shop. I remember actually going in there and seeing him working.
We thought it was just stacking jam.
We thought it was so cool to be there on the weekend and our principal be working at a jam shop, But I guess he had done it since he was in, the place opened. I don't know, and yeah, so it's just like a funny coincidence. But when we used to go to Knott's Berry Farm when we were kids, Dad would take us, and it would just always be an all-day event. You go there, you watch the shows. And
I didn't even realize from the house to Knott's Berry Farm, it's only 15 minutes.
Yeah, dude, so what better is there to have than like Dad buying passes when we were kids? It takes us 10 minutes.
And our house got so hot.
In the summertime?
Our house was so hot.
He'd take us down there. He'd be
15 degrees hotter in the house than it was outside.
Dude, we'd be on the log ride. Dad would take us on there, and every time we got off, it's funnel cake time. And there's a little funnel cake right across the way.
But if you remember when you go into the Knott's Berry Farm, everywhere you're at, there's like misters on the top, and they were just spraying you down, and you just felt good.
Yeah, and all those lines were just always clogged with teenagers when we were so young. They all just looked like these older kids.
Yeah.
Did you go on Montezuma's Revenge?
I only went on 2 rides.
Or Boomerang or anything like that? Nothing?
The only thing
What was the other ride you went
on? Silver Bullet.
Right, and what was the other one?
Which was great. And
Huff and Puff?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider, okay. Oh, that's right.
Because they let out right next to each other.
I say go back and relive it. I know you have passes, so you felt like, well, we don't have to do it all today, but...
No, I feel like I feel like Ivy doesn't know, but I feel like I kind of know, but I don't know. And I'm just like,
you forgot.
Yeah, this is over here.
It's like you forgot.
But like,
I think you feel like you've been there, but I think you also forgot.
Oh yeah,
you forgot about Knott's Berry Farm.
100%.
And it would be funny even if I went with you and just you and I went.
That's what I'm saying.
And just hang out for a day and we both have passes.
$15 a day, bro, for 6 months.
$15 a day
for 6 months, and then your
or per month.
Passed.
$15 a month.
Paid.
Oh, okay. So they do like a monthly
thing. So it's $15 a month for 6 months, and then your whole year is paid off.
Or you could just pay up front.
Or you just pay up front, and it's like $89 or something. But we got like parking, because if you pay for parking each time, it's $18.
Okay.
But you can buy it per like $29.
Dude, I'm saying get on that food
$29.
pass. I'm saying like for the Sundays that we're off, we get that food pass, or like when Ivy's working, we do our podcast. We get that food pass and go down to Knott's Berry Farm.
Dude, we could just go down there.
Hit 3 rides, grab some lunch, hit 3 rides, and podcast after. That's not a bad idea. It's close enough. So, what's your favorite theme park? Tell us what your favorite theme park is, and then we'll get back to you. My favorite theme park is probably Knott's Berry Farm as well, or probably Disneyland. I like both of them. I like, it just depends on how old you are and what you want to do. At this point, I just want to eat. So Knott's Berry Farm has great food. If I want to go on a bunch of crazy rides, You know, I'm not going to have fun driving to Valencia to go to Six Flags. I'm going to have fun going to 15 minutes down the 91 and hitting Knott's Berry Farm, though. You know, and they have just the right amount of great coasters, just the right amount of great food, shows, and nostalgia for me to where it makes the trip worth it.
Yeah.
So, Knott's Berry Farm kind of has that. And with Anaheim, with Disneyland, there's just so much waiting and driving that it just kind of freaking drives you through the roof and everything. It's like, you know, 10 times as expensive and everything like that. So,
for sure.
Any other highlights for you this week? I know, like, last Sunday we watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we watched the Super Bowl.
I was rooting for the Pats, and you were for the Eagles.
Yeah.
It was a good game. It was fun. Just kind of kicking it here. I know we both had plans to go out and do something else, and we ended up just like, dude, let's just kick it here. We went down to this little place that we found over in Bellflower called the Londra Hot Wings. And we ordered a pizza there, and we got a bunch of wings, and I just spent the day we spent the day just chilling together, watching the game, and I don't think we've ever done that. You know, it's always been like a family thing or like kind of going to, a family friend. Yeah, a friend's house or something like that, or just this year was kind of chill. You know, we have the Frontier cable TV, and I think this was the first time we've actually used it, was to watch the football game. Yeah. Which was kind of weird, dude, because, I mean, we have the Frontier cable and Wi-Fi, and the game looks so clear, dude, but, like, all the logos...
It looked blurry.
It looked blurry, dude, and, like, anything that was, like, graphic on the TV, you know, like, it looked like it was, like shitty. But overall, it was fun to watch it, dude. Like, did you have money on the game?
No.
Okay. Neither did I, but... It was fun nonetheless, dude, and just seeing Tom Brady at the very end, all like freaking disappointed. Everyone thought he was gonna freaking pull something out at the last minute, like he always does, you know. But he walked out, dude. It's funny because Ivy came home from work because she actually had to work Super Bowl Sunday, and she was just going crazy, dude, on watching the game, dude, and like screaming at the TV because she wanted the Eagles.
Yeah, after me and you have just been chilling all day and
just watching the game, eating. We were so grazing. She comes home and she's, I hate Tom Brady. I want
to freaking Filipinos, bro.
She kept leaving the room because she thought that the Pats were gonna have a comeback. Yeah, and she wanted to see the Eagles.
I can't watch.
But
they would run back in.
It was fun though. Other than that, dude, just kind of working this week. Was there any other points you wanted to hit?
That's pretty much it, man. I am super glad that everybody tuned in, and thank you everybody for your love and support.
Yeah, it was a short and sweet episode. I do have to say, because we talked about Def Leppard last week, I did end up getting that Def Leppard Hysteria vinyl for $12 from a local place. So over in Santa Monica, it's off Venice, and it's a record store. Awesome place, but when you go there, they have this thing called a wish list, and you just write it down there if they don't have it, and then they'll call you if they have it. And the guy calls and he's like, "Hey, I got a Def Leppard Hysteria here, mint condition. If you want to come down and get it, it's on your wish list. I got it for $12 if you want it." I was like, dude, hold on to that record. I'll be there after work. And they close at 8, dude. I get out like 7:30, get down there just in time before the guy's like shutting his gates. Get the freaking Hysteria album. I could even flip it, dude, and like make like triple what it's worth because it's actually original 1987 pressing. And I feel like we could actually go into like I could do like a whole section on just music because like a lot of these older bands that I listened to when I was a kid, I would read about them on Wikipedia or just buy books. You know, like Motley Crue, for example. I bought like The Dirt. You know, it's just like these biographies about the band's life, and there's so many.
Let's do a podcast all about that.
And we could do a whole podcast on just. I could do a whole podcast on just music and talking about bands like Motley Crue or Guns N' Roses and just.
And I could talk about like Carmen.
Yeah, the only thing about that is, you know, it is telling somebody else's story. You know, it's not our material; it's somebody else's material. So there is that. But a lot of that stuff is fascinating. A lot of the band stuff and musical scene, especially with rock and roll, I've always found so fascinating. But anyway, yeah. So I got that record, and then speaking of rock and roll, I'm wearing my Metal Tooth shirt. This is like it's like 8 years old, but for those of you who don't remember, we had a little show on YouTube I did with some friends. It was about 80s hair metal called Metal Tooth, youtube.com/ Metal Tooth Band. A little plug there if you want to watch the episodes. And it wasn't a show that just featured music. It was a show about the life of a band, and it was actually a comedy, and it was British. So it's kind of like Spinal Tap. If you like the dry humor and stuff like that, kind of like the old Office or British humor and stuff like that. We're doing a reunion episode. Josh and I wrote it. We talked to Johnny. We met over at a couple weeks ago. Like, we watched a movie at the theater, and we went over the script. And we're actually going to be putting out a new Metal Tooth episode, a reunion one. So be looking out for that. That's actually kind of exciting. I think we're going to put out the episode. No one will actually remember the series. So who knows? We have a new Eynon Brothers hotline phone number now. So you guys need to know that if you guys want to call in, leave a stupid message. If you want to freaking fart or burp into the phone. If you want to vent about your life and how pathetic you are, about how you can't get that job. Or how
leave it in there.
How it's Valentine's Day. You don't have a date right now. You freaking
I
stink.
farted twice
dude.
Since I've been here.
Yeah, you're a loser. You stink. You don't have a job. You want to vent, dude. You have no one to take out. Just call Eynon Brothers hotline, dude, and just tell us about how pathetic your life is, and just tell us about the things that you want to accomplish, and maybe how we can help you out, and we'll give you some advice.
Tell us why you think you can't accomplish those things.
Yeah, and just tell us, if you think you're pathetic, dude, you're rolling around and just crap all day, just call Eynon Brothers podcast. Help you. Yeah, let us help you out, man.
Give us the problem and then give us the solution.
No, give us the problem and we'll give you the solution. So the new Eynon Brothers hotline is 562 461 9016. You got a bone to pick, you got something to say, call the Eynon Brothers hotline. Do it right now. Don't hesitate to call us. We will talk to you guys literally about anything. Nothing is off the deck, so to speak.
Yeah, if you guys have a problem, if you guys have a bone to pick, you have anything to say,
you're getting older, you want to break up with the girl, you want to freaking lose weight, talk to us. We've all been there. Tommy and I, between us, we've been through every single situation. You want to quit your job, you want to just freaking chase your dreams, I don't care what you want to do. Call the Eynon Brothers podcast. Tell us what you got to do. Explain to us. Leave us a message. Tell us you love us, even if you want to do that. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
What you prefer.
And don't forget to be a fat pig. We love you guys. Peace be with you. And we are out.